Hey guys, today is Monday, May the 4th, as in May the 4th be with you. And I do love Star Wars, so hopefully we'll get a chance to do a little Star Wars celebration today. What I want to do is just really clarify how you work with parallel, perpendicular, slope, all of those things, because I noticed that from the work that's turned in, we're struggling with that, or we haven't done it. So I'm going to do another video here, and hopefully we can clarify anything that you might have as a lingering question. I'm going to also make some phone calls today, just check in on you guys. I haven't been seeing the work come in that I've been expecting, so I just want to check in on you too. All right, let's start off with one simple thing here. We're just going to talk about parallel and perpendicular. So here's an equation, y equals 2x plus 3. If I wanted to write or create a line that is parallel to this, that means it's got to have the exact same slope. And the slope of this line is 2. So whatever line I create, it should have a slope of 2. All right, so if I'm talking about a parallel line, the slope should be the same. I'm just going to abbreviate that PAR, which would be a slope of 2. If I want to do a perpendicular line, remember that the slopes need to be opposite reciprocals. So you want to flip that 2 upside down. That makes it 1/2. And then it should have the opposite sign, so that should be negative. All right, so that's the basic thing. So if you're making a parallel line, same slope, perpendicular line, the opposite reciprocal. All right, so I just want to make sure I started there. Now, let's say that they're asking for a certain line that is parallel or perpendicular to something else, and it's not written in slope-intercept form. I think we're starting to kind of forget how to change from one form to another. Let's say it's written in a let's just do this. Let's put it into a standard form. 4x minus 3y equals 2. This is standard form. So at this point, you can't just look at this equation and say the slope is whatever. You just can't. You have to change it to slope-intercept form. To change the slope-intercept form, we have to do some algebraic manipulation. We've got to change it so that the y is by itself. So to do that, we're going to subtract that 4x from this side. Move it over here. That's going to give us a negative 3y equal to negative 4x plus 2. We're almost in slope-intercept. Divide by that negative 3. This is being multiplied by the y, so to get rid of that, we have to divide it off. We divide it off of both sides, and we're going to have y is equal to, let's look over here, look at those different things we're trying to divide out. So the negative 4 is divided by the negative 3, gives us a positive 4/3 x. We have a positive 2 divided by negative 3, and that's a negative 2/3. So now we've taken 4x minus 3y equals 2, changed into slope-intercept form, and so now we know the slope. The slope is 4/3. If you want a line parallel to this, it's got to have the same slope. It's going to have a slope of 4/3, just like this. It would match, right, because that's our slope. If you want a perpendicular line, it's going to have the opposite reciprocal. So we're going to flip it upside down, and we're going to change the sign. So that becomes a negative 3/4. So that's why we need to change it from standard form to slope-intercept, so that we know what the slope is. But you can't just tell by looking at it right now. We have to do algebraic manipulation. So the work I should be seeing on your paper should have stuff like this written all over it. It should have where you're subtracting from both sides, or dividing, or doing all kinds of stuff. So make sure that you're doing those sorts of things. This is really hard to do graphically. If you're doing a graphic method, it's going to be painful. So I want you to get comfortable with this algebraic manipulation. It's really the only way to be efficient on this. All right, so once you've got that you need, let's say we need to do a parallel line to this equation, 4x minus 3y equals 2. All right, we're going to make a parallel line to this now. I'm just going to give myself some workspace here. Parallel means it's got to have the same slope, okay? Slope has to be the same to be parallel. So we're going to be choosing that slope of 4/3. And we need more information. We need this line to be parallel to 4x minus 3y passing through a certain point. Let's just make a point. All right, and so that point I'm going to make here, I'm just going to say we're passing through the point, oh, I gotta get my stylus back on. All right, the point 3, 1. I have no idea, I just made it up. Okay, normally they're going to tell you. All right, so we want it to be parallel to 4x minus 3y equals 2, so it has to have the same slope, which is 4/3, and it's got to go through that point, 3, 1. We're going to use point slope form now. We can do y minus 1, because that's our y1, equals to the slope, which is 4/3, because we're doing parallel, times x minus 3. All right, and then if we wanted to change to slope-intercept form, because we always do, y minus 1 equals, distribute here, 4/3 x, right, distributing here, and then 4/3 times 3 is 12/3, which simplifies to just 4. All right, we're almost done now. We have to add 1 to both sides to get the y by itself, and y is equal to 4/3 x minus 3. Voila. C'est fini. So this line, y equals 4/3 x minus 3, is parallel to 4x minus 3y equals 2 at this point, going through this point 3, 1. All right, parallel to it, going through the point 3, 1, and that's basically what you do. Again, it's just algebraic manipulation. You're plugging information in and getting to the solution. One more time now, let's try it with a perpendicular line. We'll go through the same, I guess we can go through the same point, 3, 1, but this time instead of being parallel, we want it to be perpendicular to 4x minus 2y equals 2. All right, so let's go ahead and do a little erasing here. So now I want the same situation. I want a line that is going to go through 3, 1, but instead of being parallel, I want it to be perpendicular. So this means the line is going to it's going to intersect at a right angle to 4x minus 3y equals 2. So same process. We know our slope for perpendicular is going to be the opposite reciprocal of 4/3, so we need this one now, the perpendicular slope. So we're going to use the same point because I just decided to. Normally they'll tell you a different point perhaps. So y minus 1 equals negative 3/4 x, oh sorry, in parentheses, x minus 3. Okay, so this is the point slope form. We're going to change it into slope intercept. Here we go. We can distribute y minus 1 equals negative 3/4 x plus, because a negative times a negative is a positive. All right, it's not going to be quite as pretty as the last one. We got a 3 times a 3, that's a 9/4. Okay, think about this as like being over 1, right? 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 1 is 4. And it is positive because it's a negative 3/4 times a negative 3. It's okay. I'm not worried about the fact that we have a fraction. It's not a big deal. We can make this work. We're going to add 1 to both sides. But think about it this way. If I'm adding 1 over here, and I'm talking about this as a fraction, right? I'm doing little dots around this. I'm talking about this as a fraction. Let's change 1 into force, being out of force. So 1 can be written really then as 4 force, right? So 9 force plus 4 force is 13 force. And I have, this is all gone, right? Y equals negative 3/4 x plus 13 force. And so this is the equation of the line that is perpendicular to our original line up here, perpendicular to this line, going through the point 3, 1. Okay? So it's the same thing we've done. It's just a matter of whether they went parallel or they went perpendicular. We're still doing algebraic manipulation to change from standard to slope intercept to point slope. And you've got to be comfortable flowing in between all those 3 different forms, because it's just important to know how to do that and then be able to use the information they give you to get to the correct answer. I know that we're struggling with this a little bit because I'm not seeing the work come in. And when it is coming in, I'm not seeing it with this type of work process laid out. So I'm going to give you all a call and just check in with you guys, help you out as best I can. I'm going to do a Zoom meeting tomorrow for anybody who's struggling. They can just pop in at 3 o'clock tomorrow, and we'll go through some more of these. But this is just one more video to kind of show you what the expectation is and see if it helps you. And we might be able to have another video that can help as well. But I just kind of want to give you this to look at today. I'm going to ask that you work on this, review this, and go back to your quizzes. If you haven't done it at all, you need to work on your quiz and submit it. And then also check in on that Zoom tomorrow if you need help. It's vital that you get some assistance if this is not going well for you, and I'm here to help you. All right, so that's it for now, and if you have questions, feel free to email me. Thanks. Bye.